the animal world, fierce fights are not only an expression of competition for territory and food, but also dramatic and spectacular situations. Animals have evolved special strategies and powers to conquer their opponents. And support us by giving us a like. Let's explore the heroic battles in the rugged Andean foothills, a herd of guanacos graze peacefully, unaware of the lurking danger. From the shadows, a stealthy puma watched, muscles coiled, and eyes fixed on its target. With calculated silence, the puma crept closer, blending seamlessly into the rocky landscape. Suddenly, it sprang into action, launching itself toward the herd with astonishing speed. The guanacos scattered in a flurry of panic, but one young guanaco was not quick enough. The puma's powerful leap ended with its claws sinking into the guanaco's flank, bringing the animal down with a forceful thud. The struggle was brief but fierce, the guanaco's desperate kicks and cries no match for the puma's strength and precision. In moments, the predator's jaws found their mark, and the guanaco's resistance faded. The herd continued to flee, while the puma began its meal, the harsh reality of the wild starkly illustrated in the predator's successful hunt. In the sweltering heat of the African savanna, two massive rhinos faced off in a brutal fight to the death. Their horns, sharp and formidable, clashed with a bone-jarring force, each rhino pushing with all its might. Dust rose around them as they charged and collided, the ground trembling under their immense weight. Their bellows of rage echoed across the plain, mingling with the sound of tearing flesh and splintering horn. Blooded and battered, neither was willing to concede. Each powerful thrust and parry carried the primal urge to dominate. After an agonizingly fierce struggle, one rhino finally succumbed to its injuries, collapsing with a final, mournful bellow. Victorious but gravely wounded, the surviving rhino stood over its fallen rival, a stark testament to the savage laws of nature where only the strongest prevail. In the wilds of the African savanna, a black rhino mother stood protectively over her calf as a white rhino encroached on their territory. With a fierce snort, the black rhino charged, her maternal instincts igniting a brutal battle. The two massive creatures collided, their horns clashing with a thunderous crack. Dust and dirt flew as they grappled, each powerful push and charge a desperate effort to dominate. On the dusty plains of the savanna, two injured rhinos, each bearing the scars of previous battles, faced off in a fierce fight for honor. Their massive bodies, though battered and worn, moved with determined strength. With a resounding crash, their horns met, sending echoes through the air. Blooded but unyielding, they pushed and shoved, their grunts of effort mingling with the sounds of clashing horn and scraping hide. Each rhino, despite its wounds, fought with unwavering resolve, driven by a primal need to assert dominance. The ground beneath them was torn up by their struggle, dust rising around their immense forms. Finally, after an agonizing battle, one rhino, more determined than its rival, managed to force the other two back down. Breathing heavily, the victorious rhino stood tall, its honor defended amidst the harsh realities of the wild. In the murky waters of the African river, two massive hippos squared off in a ferocious battle for leadership of the pond. Their deep bellows reverberated through the air, announcing the imminent clash. With powerful thrusts, they lunged at each other, mouths wide open to reveal enormous tusks. Water churned and splashed as they bit and ran, each attack a display of raw strength and determination. In the steamy heart of an African river, an angry hippo fought fiercely for mating rights. The usually placid water erupted into chaos as the massive beast charged at its rival, bellowing loudly. Their enormous jaws clashed with bone-crushing force, sending sprays of water and mud flying. The two hippos engaged in a brutal contest, biting and ramming each other with immense power. furious attack echoed the primal urge to dominate. The surrounding hippos watched the violent struggle, aware that the victor would claim the right to mate. After an intense and grueling battle, one hippo finally overpowered the other, forcing it to retreat. Triumphant, the victorious hippo claimed its prize, asserting its dominance in the natural order of the river.
This resident accepts.
In the vast expanse of the African savanna, a pack of wild dogs launched a relentless chase after a lone wildebeest. The air filled with the sounds of pounding hooves and the sharp barks of the hunters as they closed in on their prey. Agile and swift, the wildebeest darted through the tall grass, but the coordinated pack was relentless, each dog working in unison to wear it down. The chase intensified, dust rising in clouds as they sped across the plain. The wildebeest, driven by survival, pushed its limits, but the persistence and teamwork of the wild dogs gradually took their toll. Finally, exhausted and overwhelmed, the wildebeest was forced to veer away from its herd, the pack's strategy of chase and isolation proving successful as they drove their quarry into a vulnerable position. In the heart of the African savanna, a solitary wild buffalo found itself under attack by a pack of wild dogs. The predators, small but formidable in their numbers and coordination, circled the buffalo with predatory precision. With sharp barks and swift movements, the dogs darted in to nip at the buffalo's legs, trying to weaken and unbalance it. The buffalo, powerful and determined, swung its massive horns and kicked out in a desperate bid to fend off the attackers. Dust clouded the air as the struggle intensified, each side fiercely committed. Despite the buffalo's formidable strength and valiant efforts, the relentless pack began to wear it down. The scene was a chaotic mix of snarls, grunts, and the relentless energy of the wild dogs as they executed their attack with ruthless efficiency. In the dappled shade of the African bush, a pack of wild dogs set their sights on a solitary warthog. Using their keen senses and silent coordination, they crept closer, surrounding the unsuspecting prey. With a sudden burst of speed, the wild dogs launched their ambush. The warthog, startled, bolted in a desperate attempt to escape, but the dogs were quick and relentless. They nipped at its legs and flanks, their sharp teeth aiming to bring it down. The warthog fought back fiercely, using its tusks to ward off the attackers, but the pack's numbers and strategy were overwhelming. In a flurry of dust and growls, the wild dogs succeeded in toppling the warthog, securing their hard-earned meal in the harsh landscape of the savanna. In the remote, icy expanse of Antarctica, the colossal elephant seals engaged in a fierce battle to the death. Their massive bodies clashed with thunderous force, each striving to dominate the other. With roars that echoed across the frozen landscape, they lunged and thrashed, their teeth and tusks gleaming in the harsh polar light. The icy ground trembled under their weight as they wrestled, their powerful flippers delivering bone-crushing blows. Blood stained the pristine snow as the struggle intensified, neither willing to yield in this primal contest. Finally, after a relentless and brutal fight, one seal managed to gain the upper hand, subduing its opponent with a final, decisive strike. The victor bellowed triumphantly, its dominance asserted amidst the desolate beauty of Antarctica, while the defeated seal lay still, a stark reminder of the harsh realities of survival in the frigid wilderness. The final battle is the elephant seals, famous for their bulbous trunks, are giant creatures, with their bulls weighing a staggering 5,000 pounds. Like an SUV, their underwater strength is unparalleled. Their distinctive noses, acquired through grueling combat, signify their dominance. These fights, although rare, can be fatal. Just one male seal can rule a beach, commanding a harem of up to 50 females, ensuring only the healthiest genes survive. At the center of nature's stage, these battles take place, revealing the primordial struggle for survival and domination. From the majestic lions of the savanna to the giant elephant seals of the California coast, each encounter demonstrates the raw strength and tenacity of life itself.